Welcome back, Forester Dragons. I hope you've been doing really well. We're going to be starting our new project today. We're going to be doing what I call alien hair. So we're going to focus on 3 steps, and we're going to be making this. Yes, we're going to start with 1 paper, and then the next week add another paper, and then add 1 more paper. So we'll build on it each week. We're going to be talking about visual and tactile texture. What is texture, Miss Eskew? Texture is how something feels. So if I touch this paper right here, it feels smooth. If I grab my hair, it feels soft. So texture is how something feels. So the difference in visual and tactile texture is visual texture is only with your eyes. So like on these little birds here, I created little visual feathers. Tactile texture is something you can touch and feel. So the aluminum foil here, the paper towels, the trash, all the papers I used, I can feel the difference in these and in this paper. That's tactile, touch. Visual, eyes only. So texture is one of our elements of art. Okay, so these are our elements of art. Our elements are our tools. They're what we use to create our work of art. So texture is how something looks or feels. Soft, bumpy, rough, smooth, and it's either visual or tactile. We're also going to be talking about a principle of art called variety. So I could have a vase with all the exact same flower, like a dozen roses, right? Or I could have variety and have multiple different flowers. That is called variety. So having lots of different types of items, different colors, it gives the piece variety. So in essence, or in saying that, you are all going to come up with different kinds of trees and a different kind of alien face. I want variety. I don't want them all the same. It's more interesting when there's variety. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to put this here so you can kind of see it sort of while we're working. And then I'm going to turn. Hopefully you can see me. So remember, I'm going to start with my first paper here. Okay, and I'm going to start with either a black crayon or a black Sharpie. Whatever you have. You're going to be creating 7 lines, and they're going to join in the middle. Okay, here we go. So if all 7 lines, and I want you to space them out. Let me make sure you can really see. So I'm going to start in the middle, okay? And I'm going to create a line going straight up, and then I'm going to curl it over and under, just making a curvy line. Then I'm going to make another line. I'm going to start a little ways out. Now remember, they join in the middle, and then they go off in their own direction. And I don't really want them to go on top of each other. I kind of did with this one, but it's better if they're next to each other because my goal is to make a fat tree trunk. So if they're right on top of each other, it never gets fatter. And they can overlap and touch. And then I just keep going out because I'm making 7 lines, right? And I'm making them go in different directions and always curling. This one's going to overlap all of them and come over here. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go over here. And notice how I'm trying to go to touch all the sides. So the roots are going to touch these ends, and the branches are going to touch these. So I'm going to go up, getting wide, and then over here, the same thing. Oh, I'm going to make sure it's nice and wide in the middle. Okay, so there you go. Now yours will look different than mine. Mine's like a giant cypress tree. If you've ever seen a cypress tree, they have wide roots. I am going to make some of these lines a little thicker because I want my trunk a little fuller. But you don't have to. You make it look the way you want it. Okay. Now, once you have your trunk the way you want it, and your branches nice and thick, and I'm going to go over my branches, or my roots, not my branches, my roots one more time, making them a little thicker. Then I want you to get out the primary and secondary color markers, washable markers. If you don't have markers, you're going to have to just use crayons to make dots. That works too. So what I mean is you're going to get the primary and secondary. So we know our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, right? And our secondary are purple, orange, and green. But remember, I said if you don't have them in markers, get them out in crayons. And if you don't have them at all, you'll just have to use whatever colors you have. So what I want you to do, if you have an ink pad, you can make prints. Miss Askew is just going to show you using a marker. So I'm going to color my finger with the purple marker, just like this. It's a washable marker. See? And then I'm going to make prints, see, on my paper. Okay, so you can see now I've made 4 prints with the purple. I want you to do 4 with every color. So once you've done 4 with every color, and I'm going to use different fingers. You can use the same finger, just wipe it off or wash it off. And it may not come off right away, but I guarantee you when you take a bath or a shower, it will come off. It doesn't stay forever. So I am working on getting this all colored, and I may pause you like I just did and finish it so you don't have to watch me making all my dots, even though I know it's just super exciting, right? Not really, right? Okay, I'm even going to do my thumb. See, these are my secondary colors. All the kids are going to ask me today why I'm so dirty. Let's say because I'm an art teacher. Okay, so I'm even going to put some down here at the bottom, like they're walking. Or I could have some, because we're going to turn these into birds, right? Like they're flying. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I just have my primary colors. I'm going to go ahead and pause you and work on that. Hey, you guys, so you can see I made all my dots, primary and secondary colors. Now, 4 of each color, remember, anywhere. They can be flying, they can be in between. Now I'm going to turn them into little birds. So use a pen or a Sharpie or whatever you have available. And I'm going to add a little triangle beak. You can add it in the front or the side. I'm going to add a tail, a wing on the side. And then I'm going to add little feet and little feathers. Oh, don't forget an eye. So I'm going to do this on each one. I can make each one look different. I'm going to do one front facing so you can see. And then I'm going to pause it and I'm going to work on my birds. And then I'm going to come back and show you. And just make each bird unique, okay? Don't forget to add the visual texture with your little feathers. Can you see that one? Okay, so I'm going to pause it and finish it off and then I'll come back to you. Okay, you guys, so you can see how I made each one a little bird. So they all have wings, beak, eyes, little feathers on their tail and on their head, little feathers on their body. I made some nests. On my original one, you can see how I made some nests in the tree. And I made some beaks longer. I made this one kind of like an owl. You can look up, and I'll post some pictures of different birds so you can get some ideas. And you're welcome to take a look and have fun. This is step 1. Remember, we'll be adding step 2 next, which will have our tactile texture. This was our visual texture using our primary and secondary colors. Please have fun with it. Remember, 7 lines, making them connect in the middle, touching our sides, filling a curved line. Okay, have fun, and I'll see you next week. Bye, Forester Dragons.